Hello, my friends. So we're starting out this reading, as usual, with Who Are You? And we have the Phoenix. So, freedom from suffering and past karma, reincarnation. This is also, of course, a very fiery card and is associated with the root chakra. The phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, tapas. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. The phoenix and the first chakra. The ancient yogis believe that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called the Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash toward the navel center. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. So it's worth noting here that this phoenix journey or experience is one that is repeated over and over again until it is complete, however many times it takes. So I think there's an old Tibetan poem, I believe it's Tibetan, and I'm going to mangle it badly, but I'll try to tell it to you. It goes something like this. I walked down the street, and I fell in a hole. It was a very deep hole. It wasn't my fault. It took me forever to find somebody to help me out. I walked down the street again. I fell into the hole again. It still took me forever to get out. I walked down the street, the same street. I knew the hole was there. I walked around the hole. I walked down a different street. So, that, I believe, sums up the experience of the phoenix, burning off the karma, learning the lesson, or lessons. It's most likely several lessons. So you have to go through them over and over again until you choose something different. That seems to be the message today. You don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You can make different choices. You can't just not learn the lesson. You do have to work through it. But at some point, you can just say, this is silly. Why am I doing this to myself? And do something completely different. So, I hope you find a way to make that choice. All right, looking at the next 6 cards. These are the tea leaf cards, of course, and they are here to help confirm or confirm that this is or is not your reading. So we have danger, especially in money matters. So some sort of financial difficulties and an arrogant, boastful person that has had the power to do something unpleasant to you. There's a house there. It might have something to do with leaving you homeless, or I don't know. That's all I've got. All right. Then we have temptation will test you. and time to get out of a situation. Maybe you need to get into a new house. I don't know what temptation will test you is about. There's a lot of possibilities, especially since we have a financial issue on the table already. And finally, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. And then we have spiritual love. So these are all things that should sound familiar to you, should describe your situation in some way. Perhaps you're learning to use your intuition. Perhaps you are learning to change. Perhaps you're on the brink of making a change. You said, okay, it's time to get out of this. You want something different. And you want to make a decision in a different way than you ever have before. Spiritual love can come in many forms. This could be unconditional love for others. Perhaps you are finally learning to love yourself. But you are on the verge of making some good changes. You will be tempted, or you have been tempted, and you can expect to be tempted more in the future. What will you do? So, what about yourself, and this was my intention when I decided to do this reading, was what is it about yourself that you are not seeing? Something that you're overlooking that you need to take a look at. Perhaps that's why the Phoenix came out. What lesson have you not learned? I'm really feeling drawn to my Santa Muerta deck lately. I really like them. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Oh dear. So you feel you're in a soul connection. I mean, we've got spiritual love here, and we've got a matching pair here. I'm not going to get into the astrological elements or anything. I think the point is that you believe you've met your match, and that there is a really strong connection between you. Maybe that you were made for each other. Well, that's not really how things work, but or maybe this is what you're not looking at. I don't think so, though. Mastery. Have you done the work to master some new skills? Perhaps this intuition you're beginning to work with? You're in the grind phase. The grind phase isn't fun, but you got to do it. And then we have accountability. It may be that this person, whoever is identifying as the feminine half of this connection, is working on mastery, while the one who identifies as the masculine half of this connection is working on accountability. This is a scary looking card, isn't it? No wonder you're scared. Some other cards came out, but I'm not sure where they go. So let's try. For this Queen of Wands, what does this Queen of Wands need to know? Nine of Cups in reverse. Overindulging in something. What? All right. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. Perhaps overindulging in materialism, or an overemphasis on material aspects of life, and not fully processing emotions, especially the ones to do with grief. So it could be anything from just being very concerned about finances right now to, I don't know, being shopping too much. I don't know. So this Two of Pentacles in this deck, this is a Two of Pentacles. It's not the Two of Cups. It is an intensely romantic looking card to me. So perhaps you're focusing too much on the material aspects of this connection. Trying to focus on the material aspects of life to avoid processing any grief you might be feeling over this connection. If this is a soul connection, it's unlikely that you're together. So it is very likely that there is grief to be processed. All right, let's see what the King of Wands needs to know. Wow. Okay. A lot came out for you. We have the World. So, perhaps a fear of change, very likely a fear of change. Desire for a new financial beginning, but it's going to take a long time. Perhaps a lot of concern about that. You're both concerned about finances a lot. Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords in the upright. This is someone who is a truth seeker, truth speaker, someone who is not afraid to pull out their sword and chop off their heads. So they're a no-nonsense kind of person. And perhaps you're very concerned about accountability in regard to this person. Either you wronged them or you're going to have to talk to them. They could be somebody that you consult with. Somebody who will make you face yourself. But at the same time, we have this Queen of Cups in reverse. So the Queen of Cups in reverse is somebody who is very manipulative, emotionally speaking. Well, is there any other way? They're emotionally dishonest. They may have good insight into other people's emotions, but they use that information, that knowledge, that skill to control others rather than to help them. It's kind of the opposite of being empathetic and compassionate. So, I'm kind of on the fence about what these two cards mean. Because this is supposed to be about you, yourself. So this could be two aspects of your personality. Having to take a good hard look at yourself about the way you have been dishonest and manipulative with others. how you have used people. Maybe there's someone in your life who's like that. Maybe you learn this way of being from somebody else. That's not the point. The point is that you are responsible for choosing to be that way. And you have to take accountability for your choices. Having the Queen of Swords come up makes me, it kind of reinforces the whole idea of accountability, about being honest, about maybe speaking your truth finally. The Queen of Swords is I'm not sure if authentic is the right word, because they may not be truly in touch with their own emotions, but they are definitely focused on clarity. All of the sword suits, sword court cards, they're all focused on clarity. They may be just beginning to develop it. They may be running away from it, depending on which court card and whether they're upright or reversed. But you got the Queen of Swords in the upright. So she is a good decision maker, or they, because this can be, there's no gender. These are all qualities that we all need to embody, to develop, to integrate, so that we can become better people. And this Queen of Swords is a very valuable part of your personality to be developed. The fact that it is represented by a female figure means absolutely nothing. This is someone who has strength of mind, a strong voice, a strong will. But at the same time, you also have this Queen of Cups aspect to your personality. And they will be at war with each other. The Queen of Swords in the upright and the Queen of Cups in the reverse, they would definitely be at war with each other. So if this is going on within you, you might want to get some help, because that's going to be quite a battle. And as I said, it may be that you were raised this way. You may have had someone in your life who was this kind of emotionally manipulative person who looked at other people and deciphered their emotions and then used them against them. And that is certainly not exclusive to any gender. There are plenty of people who do that. It could be possibly a narcissist. Narcissists tend to be they're more often male than female. I don't think it's a big difference, though. There are definitely plenty of female narcissists running around. But yeah, there's slightly more male than female. So again, gender has absolutely nothing to do with the message of the card. So even if you are not a narcissist, you can have narcissistic traits. Honestly, we all have narcissistic traits. Their strength is what makes us unhealthy or abusive. Narcissists can be very abusive. So perhaps you need your Queen of Swords to cut any of these traits out of you. And it looks like for this Queen of Wands, you know, they're still doing a lot of emotional processing themselves. Or not doing it, avoiding it, needing to get back to it, maybe needing to address. The Two of Pentacles, it is about change. But it is also about financial, material matters as well. So perhaps this Queen of Wands wants change, but is avoiding doing the emotional work that they need to do. All right, this is what I have for you today. I wasn't expecting to do a male-female version of it, but that's what we have. I am wishing you both all the best. Well, not both, all of you the best. Whichever one you may identify with more. Yeah. We all have our lessons to learn and work to do. Whichever person you may identify with, don't think the other person isn't also going through stuff, because they are. And I am wishing you all the best.